The Museo ni Jose Rizal Calamba, also known to locals as Bahay ni Rizal, is one of the 27 museums being managed by the National Historical Commission of the Philippines. It is one of the 3 NHCP museums dedicated to the life and works of our national hero, Dr. Jose Rizal Mercado y Alonso Rialonda. This year marks the 70th anniversary of Bahay ni Rizal since national artist Juan F. Nakpil reconstructed the house in 1949 by the virtue of Executive Order 145 of President Elpidio Quirino. The museum was inaugurated to the public on June 19, 1950 as Rizal Shrine Calamba. Sitting in a 3,704 square meters prime lot, the museum is located beside the St. John the Baptist Church and near the old plaza of Calamba. For the past 70 years, the Rizal House has become one of the popular and must-go destinations if you want to learn about the 19th century Spanish colonial rule in the Philippines. The original house of the Rizal family was built a few years before Jose was born in 1861. It is a 2-story structure made of stone and hardwood, comprised of narrow floors, capice windows, and roof made of tisa or red tiles. With a floor area of approximately 265 square meters, it has its own water well, a garage, and several living quarters. It has a spacious garden showcasing the statue of the young Jose or Pepe, together with his dog Berganza by Dudley Diaz. A replica of a nipa hut built by Don Francisco to serve as Pepe's playhouse. Lastly, the tomb where the remains of Don Francisco and Doña Tudora were transferred in 1997. Located at a small room of the first floor that used to be a storage and servants' quarter, the first gallery, Kaliwanagan, showcases the Mercado Rizal family tree, highlighting both the paternal and maternal lines of Jose and the name of the spouses of the siblings. Don Francisco Mercado and Doña Tudora Alonso had 11 children, namely Saturnina, Pasiano, Narcisa, Olympia, Lucia, Maria, Jose, Concepcion, Josefa, Trinidad, and Soledad. It was taken from the genealogy Jose wrote himself when he was in exile in Dapitan. The next exhibit is the diorama of Doña Lolay and Pepe while the former was telling the latter about the allegory of the moth and the fire, a children's story that imparts obedience. Transcript of Jose's baptismal record was also displayed in this gallery, alongside different quotations from Jose's literary works. The last exhibition highlighted in this gallery are albums of family members with their respective portraits. The visitors can open these albums, which contains information and snippets of the family members' letters to Jose and vice versa. Gallery 2, Kapaligiran. The second gallery, Kapaligiran, showcases the surroundings where Jose grew up. In this gallery, a scale model of the house with braille description is lying near the entrance. A timeline of Calamba from its foundation in 1742, the time when it was separated from the town of Cabuya, up to 1888, the time when a land dispute arises between the Dominicans who owned the lands versus the Inquilino families led by the Rizals, which ended to the family's eviction from their house and rented lands in 1890. A portion of a sugarcane crusher made of stone reportedly found in the vicinity when the house was reconstructed in 1949. A photograph of Rizal's Laguna that discusses the various towns of the province and their connection to Jose. Traditional stone mills used by the Filipinos to grind rice and corn, among others. A portrait of Don Kikoy and Doña Lolay along the original camisón and kimona used by one of the women in the family. There is also a display of an old map of Laguna de Bay and various original Spanish period documents owned by Jose Alzona, one of the neighbors of the Rizal family. And lastly, 4 interactive panels highlighting information about the old town of Calamba, Laguna de Bay, Mount Makiling, and varieties of Mayas mentioned by Jose in his childhood journal, Memorias de un Estudiante de Manila. Gallery 3, Karunungan. The third gallery focuses on the educational years of Jose in the Philippines. Displayed in the first showcase is the zapatilla, the original slippers embroidered by Leonor Rivera and were given to Jose Rizal in 1882. Rizal as a student presents chronological details of Rizal's informal and formal schooling. Jose was taught by Doña Teodora how to pray, read the alphabet, and how to speak Spanish. Later on, Don Francisco hired several tutors for Jose until he turned 7 that his parents decided to send him to Biñan under the tutelage of Maestro Justiniano Cruz. In 1872, due to the suspicion of the Spanish authorities towards the involvement of the Mercado family with the Gumburza, Jose uses the surname Rizal when he enrolled and took up Bachelor of Arts in Ateneo de Municipal de Manila. In 1877, Jose took up philosophy and letters at the Universidad de Santo Tomas, and the following year, he took up medicine at the same university when he found out that his mother's eyesight was wearying. Other exhibits are the facsimiles of his notes in classes along with the reproductions of his photographs taken when he was 11 and 16 years old. The same photographs were also printed in swell with braille description and exhibited in this gallery for the visually impaired visitors. Lastly, the showcase near the staircase contains an original receipt with Señora Trinidad Rizal's signature along with her original business ledger. Everyone going to the second floor will pass through the grand staircase consisting of 17 steps. Traditionally, individuals with lower status in life were often received on the first floor unless invited by the owner of the house. Since the residence is located near the church, the market, and municipality, visitors would tend to stop here to rest for a while, and the Rizals were kind enough to welcome them. This room has served as the waiting room for the guests of the family. This is also where the library of Don Francisco used to be located. The old library is where Pepe used to spend his free time reading from the 1,000 volumes of books his father owned. The dining table, alcohol lamps, cabinets, wall clock, and other displays are all replicas. The original pieces of furniture from the Rizal family displayed in this room are the 2 galinera, or wooden benches with shelves underneath, which are intended for the temporary storage of gamecocks. The hat rack and the wooden solihia bench are also original. The living room, commonly called sala to the Filipinos, is where the family and other close relatives are usually gathered. Divided by 2 doors, this place is more intimate for the family, wherein the adults usually sat by the window enjoying the fresh breeze, and where the children gathered to dance and sing. At present, there are 2 sets of tables and chairs displayed here. Customarily, during family gatherings, children are not allowed to sit with the adults. a tradition that some families continuously practice even today. The original furniture displayed in the living room is the two round tables. The first one is a marble-top four-legged table. The other one is the three-legged wooden top table. All other pieces of furniture, including the mirror, chairs, side tables, and candle holders, are replicas. A bust and 4 paintings are also displayed here. The first one is the portrait of Jose Rizal, while the other 3, namely, Rizal was the brightest in his class in Ateneo and was always awarded prizes. Gertrude Beckett serving Rizal at breakfast. And Dr. Jose Rizal, Maximo Viola, and F. Blumentritt in Light Marich, all of which are entries in 1961 Caltex Philippines competition as part of the centennial birth anniversary of Jose Rizal. This room is located on the right side of the living room. It is a relatively small room that contains several wooden pieces of furniture. The bedroom has only one 4-poster single bed made of nara, which is typical in most bahay na bato. Since there are several sisters in the family, traditionally, the privilege to sleep on the bed goes to the eldest among the siblings, wherein the younger ones slept on the floor using woven mats. One can find numerous original Rizaliana furniture in this room, such as the dresser table made of hardwood with intricate carvings. The authentic sewing machine with wooden base owned by Señora Trinidad Rizal. And the caned Cleopatra chair made of rattan. This is the bedroom of Pasiano and Jose. Almost everything in this room is original furniture except for the chandelier, ceramic basins, and pitcher. This bedroom exhibits the following original wooden furniture: the towel rack with initials JR carved on the frame, the marble-top wash basin with drawer, several caned and wooden chairs, escritorio or portable writing desk, and last but not the least, Jose Rizal's original 4-poster bed made of nara with carvings on the head and footboard. One might wonder why Jose owned the bed and not Pasiano. The reason is Jose in his childhood had a frail body and he was sick frequently, which is why his older brother let him sleep on the bed. Jose Rizal was born in this room on June 19, 1861, Wednesday, between 11 p.m. and 12 midnight. According to Jose, his mother had difficulty in giving birth to him and almost lost her life had she not vowed to the Virgin of Antipolo to take his second son to her by way of pilgrimage. Here, various original wooden furniture is exhibited, such as wardrobe with mirrors owned by the family, the butaca or birthing chair, a porcelain chamber pot along with a hand-woven suitcase called tampipi, a bentwood rocking chair, a round coffee table with caned seats, and the almario or pillow rack. Replicas of the matrimonial bed and virina or a small altar is also displayed in this bedroom. According to Valentina Sanchez, the family cook, the following were the favorite dishes of the Rizals: relleno, adobo, estopado, pochero, and tinola. Carne asada or grilled meat was Jose's favorite dish. Entering the dining room, one will certainly notice a replica of a huge hanging fan called pangka. Laying below is a replica of the dining table where the family usually gather for a meal, whilst overlooking the garden. An original wooden cupboard stands near the door, and atop of it are two dama juana or demijohns used as fermenting jars or as simple as a liquid container. An original wooden cabinet with small drawers on top is displayed near the door leading to the azotea. A wooden cabinet with drawers stands at the corner part of the room, containing ceramic plates, sauce pot and saucer, bowls, and other utensils owned by the Rizal. Onto the kitchen, you will find traditional cooking utensils used by Filipinos in the 19th century. On the left side are the bilao or circular baskets and oval-shaped wicker baskets originally owned by the family. Displayed on a rack are earthenware, coconut shredder, iron kettle, wooden spatulas, and ladles. On the right side is a traditional stove or abuhan with iron pot, wok pan, spatula, and steel tongue on top. The Rizal family's original water filter made of limestone is also exhibited here, along with a large earthen jar for a water storage called martabana. Another distinct feature of a traditional Filipino kitchen is a batalan or banggera, a wooden shelf attached outside the windows. This serves as an extra counter and a drying shelf for newly washed cutlery and utensils. Azotea. According to Jose, this is the place where his aya or yaya Aquilina told him fairy tale and horror stories. And during full moons, the family gathered here to have a meal and entertainment. It is also where Jose got his inspiration for the chapter 7 of Noli Me Tangere, entitled Ligawan sa Azotea. The water well, the comfort room with wooden toilet, and the bathroom are all located in the azotea. In 1998, the back stairs was added in the structure leading to the ancillary building and the garden. Gallery 5, First Journey of Rizal to Europe. The fifth gallery showcases events and memorabilia from his first journey to Europe. Heeding the advice of his older brother Pasiano and without consent of their parents, Jose Rizal, at the age of 20, left the country to pursue his studies abroad. In this gallery, a detailed timeline of Rizal's first journey to Europe, 1882 to 1887, is exhibited, highlighting information about his enrollment to the Universidad Central de Madrid, taking up courses of medicine, philosophy, and letters in 1882, his acceptance of a licentiate in medicine in 1884, his acceptance of a licentiate in philosophy and letters with highest honors in 1885, his ophthalmology training in Paris in Germany in 1886, his completion and publication of the novel Noli Me Tangere in Germany 1887, and his first and last meeting with his close friend Ferdinand Blumentritt in Litmeritz less than a month before his return to the Philippines in 1887. A life-size bronze statue depicting Jose Rizal in formal attire while strolling the streets of Madrid is an interactive exhibit wherein visitors can have their photos taken. In the first showcase lies the facsimiles of Rizal's photographs, his original calzador or shoehorn made of ivory, his pair of wooden socks, and a replica of his famous sculpture, The Triumph of Science Over Death. Also in display are his original vest, jacket, top hat along with his cape, and another replica of his sculpture, The Triumph of Death Over Life. Gallery 6, Rizal's second sojourn in Europe. Due to the publication of his first novel, Noli Me Tangere, Jose had severely suffered the wrath of the Spanish government and the clergy. As a result, his return to our country in 1887 lasted only 7 months. Once again, in February 1888, Rizal left the Philippines for a second time with a heavy heart. A detailed timeline discussing Rizal's second journey to Europe is one of the highlights of Gallery 6. Another panel is dedicated to the photographs of other personal belongings of Jose Rizal, along with a description of Rizal's fondness of practice shooting and various photographs of the Filipino expatriates in Europe whom Rizal had encountered with. This panel is dedicated to Rizal's participation in the propaganda movement launched by the Ilustrados in Madrid, Spain. Photographs of the Filipino reformers is the main focus of this exhibition, alongside excerpts from Rizal's articles published in La Solidaridad, namely The Philippines a Century Hence and The Indolence of the Filipinos. In the middle part of the gallery lies a panel with details about Sucesos de las Islas Filipinas by Antonio de Morga, a book annotated and republished by Rizal in 1890. In 1889, Rizal and Blumentritt planned to hold the first conference in Philippine studies in line with the centenary of the French Revolution. Unfortunately, the plan did not materialize. The list of proposed topics for the said conference is displayed in this gallery, showing how Rizal really wanted to introduce the Filipino race and the Philippines to other nations. The panels at the left corner of this gallery are dedicated to the second novel of Rizal, which he started to write when he stayed in Calamba in October of 1887. El Filibusterismo was published in Ghent, Belgium by Rizal in 1891, and the main characters of the novel are also highlighted in this part of the gallery. Other memorabilia displayed in the glass showcases are his original formal vest, pants, his original long johns or undergarment. Tactile exhibit and facsimiles of Noli and El Fili and a facsimile of his annotated book Sucesos are also showcased in this gallery. Exhibited also are old coins and paper bills with Rizal's image, medallions and bas-reliefs produced during the celebration of his centenary in 1861, and souvenirs from the celebration of his 150th birth anniversary 2011. Second to the last panel is dedicated to the pen names and signatures Jose Rizal used in writing various literary works and correspondences with different individuals. The overall museum exhibition will end on the panel discussing the foundation of La Liga Filipina in 1892. Finally, a line from the last chapter of Rizal's El Filibusterismo: "The stone must be struck to raise a spark." This concludes the virtual tour of the Museo ni Jose Rizal Calamba. We hope that you enjoy watching this video, and we are looking forward to your future visit once we reopen our doors to the public. For now, if you have questions, comments, and suggestions, you may call or message us through the following information flashing on your screen. Maraming salamat po at mabuhay!